What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Oba's Trending Gist, where we break down the stories that have everyone talking. And today, we have a blockbuster. A massive political battle is brewing in the heart of the nation's capital, Abuja. On one side, you have the FCT minister, the bulldozer himself, Nyesom Wike, and on the other, the senator representing the FCT, Ireti Kingibe. The accusations flying are heavy. We are talking land grabbing, autocratic leadership, and even claims that Wike is secretly allocating land to his own family. Senator Kingibe recently went on Arise News and she did not hold back one bit. Wike's camp, as you can imagine, has come out swinging with a full-blown rebuttal. This is more than just political drama. It's a fight about governance, transparency, and power in the FCT. First, you need to see the clip for yourself to understand the gravity of the situation. So sit back and take a watch.
The minister he doesn't obey the rule of law. He's autocratic. He doesn't follow any rules or any laws. And when you try to draw his attention that governance is based on laws, the rule of law, he doesn't accept that. For instance, Abuja University had approximately 11,000 hectares. Minister Wike has revoked 7,000 of it and left them with 4. It is definitely against the Land Use Act. If I were making a list of all the things that President Tinubu has done wrong, the greatest wrong he's done to himself, the thing that has demarketed him the most, has been on Minister Wike. I have documents to show that when Minister Wike allocated land to his sons, huge tracts of land, fine, as he says, though they are his sons, they're entitled to land, no problem. But the bills, I have them documented, of 200 million that you need to pay, 100 million here that you need to pay, they wrote to him asking that the bill, he should give a waiver and reduce it. Within 48 hours, they are going from 200 million to 22 million.
And that's illegal, isn't it?
Of course it's illegal.
Right.
At the very least, it's unfair, it's unethical, at the very least. And these things, I am a civil engineer, I'm a fact person. I wouldn't come here I wouldn't say so publicly without having the facts and the documents.
Okay, let us unpack that because there's a lot to break down here. First, let's be clear. These are incredibly serious accusations. Senator Ireti Kingibe isn't just throwing political jabs. She is accusing a serving minister of the Federal Republic of corruption, nepotism, and a complete disregard for the rule of law. Her demeanor is calm, but her words are fire. She gives two very specific and very damaging examples. Number one, the University of Abuja. She claims Wike revoked 7,000 out of 11,000 hectares belonging to a federal university. She alleges that this is against the Land Use Act, which protects land meant for public institutions. If true, this isn't just a policy disagreement, it's a potential abuse of power that undermines a public institution for what she implies is private allocation. Number two, and this is the bombshell, the allegation that Wike allocated huge tracts of land to his son. That alone is a major red flag for conflict of interest. But she then doubled down and claimed she has documents showing that the ground rent fees for these lands, we are talking hundreds of millions of naira, were waived and reduced to just a tiny fraction like 2 million naira. If she actually has those documents, that is a smoking fire. That moves from political talk to a potential criminal investigation. Now, let's look at the response from Wike's aide, Lere. So sit back and take a watch.
Senator Ireti Kingibe. Well, for Minister Wike's right of reply, I'm joined now in the studio by Lere, Senior Special Assistant to the Minister on Public Communication and Social Media. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Good evening. Thanks for having me here once again.
So you have your right of reply on behalf of the Minister. Go right ahead.
Well, the first thing I will say is that when the minister, when the accidental, I call her accidental senator for a reason. When the accidental senator was making that kind of allegation, I would have expected that a follow-up question should have been asked. Where are the documents?
Well, she said she had the documents.
If she said, it is
but
not.
She wasn't going to put them up
not,
on air.
It is not enough for me. Can I just come here now to say, oh, I have evidence of you committing crime. I have evidence of you, and you want the public to believe that you actually committed crime.
Well, there's a difference between you alleging that I committed a crime and you alleging that someone else committed a crime.
What she should have been asked was, where are the documents? Because there are no documents.
Let me just make this point, and I don't mean to interrupt you because you do have a right to reply. But when somebody says they have documents, I can't start asking them, is the document under your bed sheet?
That is what I'm saying.
Is it in the hands of a lawyer? No. She says she has the documents.
That is what I'm saying.
So that's,
and I am challenging her now.
For you to challenge
her. I am challenging her to bring documents showing the names of children of the minister. She should. Because I listened to her talking about the minister not obeying the rule of law, not obeying this. Does she know law?
Well, go ahead.
Let me conclude. Because if she knows law, she won't come out the other time to say it was wrong to revoke land based on non-payment of ground rent. If she knows law, because Section 28, subsection A and B of the Land Use Act is very clear. It states reasons land can be revoked. And that section clearly said that every condition given to you in your RFO, the moment you contravene any of those conditions, it is a ground for revocation of your...
Yeah, but we all know that in the course of going after people for monies they owe, especially quite small amounts of money, I mean 80,000 naira, this and that, you go to an embassy or you go to somebody's house and you're going to revoke their land rather than approaching them and trying to get the money from them.
That
her argument was that's an extreme response to a situation.
The issue is this. Before that step was taken, there were publications, there were newspaper advertisements, there were announcements on radio since last year, October. 2 months was given, 3 months, 4 months, and all that. If government made publications and said, we will do this if you don't do this in 3 weeks, and government now waited for 6 months, will you still blame government for not telling you? Meanwhile, payment of ground rent, it is without demand on your RFO. It is stated that you have to pay every year without demand from the government. You see, the problem here is that people like our Accidental Senator Ireti, because I call her alias Kingibe, because she's not supposed to be bearing that name Kingibe any longer.
Well, let me take you up on that, because that's a value judgment on your part, which has nothing to do. She's perfectly entitled as the ex-wife of someone. She changed her name to Kingibe. All her documents became reflected in Kingibe. And there's no part of the world you'll go to where you don't have the right to retain a name that you changed your name to. You have every right, she has every right to do that.
We are not on that. We are not here on that.
Yeah, but you brought it up.
I mentioned it to you. If you are married to me, and I'm no longer married to you, and I've come out to say, stop bearing my name.
Did he come out to say stop bearing her name?
Find out from her.
No. Did he come out? You're saying find out from her.
You're
making that allegation.
I am telling you that the husband did say that, don't answer my name again. The husband said that.
He came out and said that?
The husband said that. The husband is alive. Ambassador Kingibe is alive.
Yeah, but even if he, assuming, which I doubt.
I want to.
Kingibe is not the kind of person who gets into that kind of thing.
Let us not go into that.
But let me ask you
She said that. Yeah. She alleged, she said here that, she claimed here that the minister allocated land to his children. And I'm saying it here that there is no single allocation to any of the children of the FCT minister.
Well, she says she has documents.
That is what I'm saying, that That is why I'm saying here that I'm challenging her here to produce those documents.
Or you can go to court.
There have been 2 publications.
You can go to you can take her to court if you want.
We won't dignify her for that, because somebody got into the Senate, like I said, accidentally. She is looking for a way to retain that seat in 2027, which she knows that will no longer be possible. But let me also say this.
Yeah.
There were 2 publications. One came up. The minister allocated land to Joak Farm Nigeria Limited. And in the story, it was mentioned that the land was allocated to one of the sons of the minister by name Joaquin. Because you have a man, you have a child whose name is Joaquin. When you now see Joak Farm automatically now belongs to Joaquin. And that publication also said that 2,080 hectares of land were allocated to that minister's son in Asokoro and Maitama. The entire Asokoro and Maitama Abuja put together is not up to the 2 districts are not up to 2,000 square meters.
To be entirely fair,
they're not up to
be fair, I'm not sure that was what she was referring to in her allegation. She said
that is the only thing. That is the only thing.
Well, that's what
I have to also clear that.
She said that she has documents. So you can go to her and make her get the documents out.
Yeah. I'm saying here that I'm challenging her to produce those documents. I'm challenging her.
Well, we also
she should bring those documents.
Yeah, but you have to remember, because we just used a clip of her. I mean, we can't run the entire interview, but we did ask her as the interview progressed, whether or what she was going to do with those documents, and she said she was going to bring them up at an appropriate time at a committee hearing and presented to the National Assembly and all the rest of it. So perhaps you ought to push her to press that.
You see, you have evidence. You have evidence of somebody being a thief, and you are saying that you will produce the evidence to the public at appropriate time. Is there any appropriate time to expose a thief?
No. She said she will take it to the National Assembly and to the committees that would need to investigate
such document. And she came to this place to say, "Oh, the major mistake the president made was appointing Wike as minister." I guess that the moment that woman became a senator, she has not visited anywhere in this FCT. I wish that she should go to Pai, Gomani, Yangoji. She should go there. She should go to Kabusa Keti. She should go to Kabusa Takusara. She should go to Usafa. She should go to Buari. She should go to all this area. She should go to Akpo Wasa, where roads have been built, where there was no road before. She should go there, and she should go to Akpo Mechanic Village and tell them that President Tinubu made mistake by appointing Wike. She should come to Abuja public and tell the public this.
She says that the main issue is that Minister Wike doesn't obey the rule of law.
That is why I said,
hold on,
does she even know the law?
Doesn't follow any rules
she
and is
even know the
autocratic.
She's
and that when she tries to reach out to him,
reach out to him to do what?
Well, she says she's written to him
to reach out to him
to communicate with him.
To communicate with him.
I mean, she's the minister in charge of Abuja. And she has a right to communicate with him.
Is she a member of the Senate Committee on FCT? Is she a member of the Senate Committee on FCT Area Council? The fact that you are a senator representing Abuja does not mean that you should now pretend over Abuja. When you get to the Senate, you are members of committees. And let me also say this: the president of Nigeria is the governor of FCT by right, by power.
Well, let me just say this, okay? So because this is important.
Let me conclude.
Land, yeah.
If she has any issue on FCT, she should write to the president, because the president is the governor of FCT. Minister Wike is superintending over Abuja on behalf of the president. So if she has any issue concerning FCT, He should write to the president, who is the governor of the FCT.
No. If he is superintending over, it's like saying that the estate assembly cannot go and talk to. In other words, if a committee is oversighting a commissioner, you should not go and talk to that commissioner. You should go and talk to the governor.
But
I mean, that's absurd.
Is she a member of any committee?
Okay. Let me attempt to answer that question. She says she's not expecting the minister to report to her, but she expects to work in synergy with the minister. There is something, and I'm sure you're probably aware of this, because you're quite an intelligent man. Hold on, let me make this point.
Before you continue,
there is institutional oversight, which is what the National Assembly has over the FCT, because the National Assembly is kind of like the State Assembly over the FCT. And then there is something called representational oversight, which she has. So if there is something he's doing wrong, she can bring a petition or a motion against him and ask for that to be investigated. And that's what she said she's going to do.
If there's something wrong, there is Senate Committee on FCT.
No, you interrupted me. You didn't let me finish the point.
Okay, finish.
She has what is called representational oversight because she represents the people of the FCT.
Yes.
She was elected by them.
Yes.
And therefore, if he's done something wrong, she can bring a petition or a motion against him and ask for that to be investigated. That's what she said she's going to do in the assembly. She can also bring a private member's bill, so there are privileges and rights that she has. And she can also write to him and ask for his response. And it's simple courtesy for him to respond.
Nobody is saying that she does not have that kind of power.
So why doesn't he respond when she writes to him?
The issue is this. If there's any issue concerning FCT, there is a committee of the FCT, Senate Committee on FCT in the Senate. That is the appropriate body that you can go and talk to.
Yeah, but she can try and communicate with him first.
You cannot. You can.
What do you mean she cannot? No, she can.
You can only do that. You can only do that at. Okay, you can do that. As I am, I can communicate with you.
Yeah.
As she is. She can communicate to the minister. And
she says she's tried to do that.
It is also the right of the minister to either receive a communication or not.
Well, not on that level.
No.
I mean, it is inappropriate not to respond to a senator in charge of an entire senatorial district.
Nothing is okay. If a senator writes to you now that you should remove your shirt,
that's an absurd analogy.
That's what we're saying.
It's an absurd analogy.
When a senator begins to write that, it is wrong for government to sanction those who refuse to pay ground rent, when a senator begins to write that it is appropriate for people who own property not to pay their dues. Because he said so. It is in the media. And you want that kind of senator to be taken seriously?
No. I think you're taking it a bit too far. But you see, the point is this. There is nothing wrong with... Look, in every situation...
Governance is not personal.
I'm sure you have good experience
I said,
of
my
law.
brother, governance is not personal.
No.
It is an institution.
Yeah,
She's a member of the Senate.
But the point,
if she asks anything concerning the FCT, there's Senate Committee on FCT. There's Senate Committee on FCT Area Council. Well, why can't she approach those committees?
Let me attempt to answer that, and I don't speak for her. But I mean, the point is this: there are a number of things that are taking place. If you say you're going to revoke somebody's land, there are always, even in court, there are mitigating circumstances. And it is for her, who represents the people of the FCT, to intercede on their behalf.
Did she
try and communicate.
Did she do that?
Well, that's what she said. She said she tried to communicate with your people, with the minister, and the minister refused to respond.
Let us differentiate issues. There's difference between doing your job and playing to the gallery.
Yeah.
If she actually wants to do her job, there's a stipulated way to do it. Approach the Senate Report to the Senate. I'm a member of this
Well,
Senate.
she's intending to do that.
No, intending since when now?
Because she
You are
tried to.
intending.
No. She
No,
gave
you are
him.
you are intending after she has been here to make unfounded allegations.
What she did was that she tried. According to her,
Tried,
hold on. Let me just make the point.
Let
me make the point.
She never do now.
Let me make the point.
Try. Has she done it?
She made the effort, according to her, to try to communicate with him on several occasions. She wrote to him. He didn't reply.
My question,
she made overtures
you are
towards
just
him.
emphasizing
He
on
did
she
not
wrote.
respond.
Listen,
And that is why she then said she's going to take the next step.
You are emphasizing on she wrote. The minister was in the Senate to present FCT budget. She saw the minister there. Did she raise this issue there? She did not. She was there clapping for the minister, praising the minister, commending him. In the Senate, when the minister was with the Senate committee on FCT, when she was there.
What about the issue of the University of Abuja and the 11,000 hectares of land that was allocated?
The question I want to ask you is this. Which university in this country sit on 11,000 hectares of land?
Well,
do you know?
Let me ask the question.
Let me. You answer.
I mean, you're asking yourself questions, not me.
I've asked question. I want to give you so that you can answer. 11,000 hectares of land at 500 square meter per plot is over 200,000 plots. Over 200,000.
Can I say this? Okay. Senator Tejuosho, Olanrewaju Tejuosho, is the pro-chancellor of the University of Abuja.
Yes.
He's a member of the APC. He came and sat where you are, and he was almost livid about what Minister Wike has done. So it's not just Senator Ireti Kingibe. He said very clearly, both Senator Kingibe and the pro-chancellor, completely independent of each other.
This
Senator
is a classic
Ireti
political
Kingibe.
counterattack.
Well, for Minister
Notice
Wike's
the strategy.
right of
He
reply,
barely
I'm joined
addresses
now
the
in the
substance
studio
of the
by
land
Lere
accusation.
Olayinka,
Instead,
Senior
he goes
Special
for the jugular
Assistant
to
to the Minister
discredit
on
the
Public
accuser.
Communication and Social
He calls her
Media.
an
Thank you
accidental
very much
senator,
indeed for coming
trying to
here.
delegitimize her right
once
from the
again.
start.
So you have your
Then makes
right
a
of
very
reply
personal
on
and
behalf of the
frankly
Minister.
irrelevant
Go
attack
right
about
ahead.
her using the surname Kingibe.
The first thing
What
I
does her
will say is
marital
that
history have to do
when the
with
minister,
whether the
when
FCT
the-
minister
when the-
is
when
following
the
the law?
accidental-
Absolutely
I call her
nothing.
accidental
It's a
senator
distraction,
for a
a textbook
reason.
ad hominem
When the
attack
accidental
designed to
senator
make you question
was
the
making
messenger
that
instead
kind
of
of
focusing
allegation,
on the
I
message.
will
His
have
only real
expected
procedural
that.
point is
A
that
follow-up
she should
question
have
should
gone
have
through
been
the
asked.
Senate committee on
Where are
FCT
the
instead of the
documents?
media. That's
Well,
a
she
fair
said she had
argument
the
in
documents.
terms of official
It is
process.
not-
She wasn't
But
going to put them
it is
up
not
on
an
air.
attempt
It is
to
not
keep
enough
these serious
for me.
allegations
Can I
out
just
of
come
the
here now
public
to
eye.
say,
The senator's
I
job
have
is not
evidence
just
of
to
you
work in committee.
committing
It
crime.
is to represent her people.
I have evidence
and
of
sometimes
you,
that
and you
means
want the
speaking
public
out
to believe
publicly
that
when you
you
see
actually
something wrong.
committed crime.
Well, there's a difference
So,
between
what's my
you
take on this?
alleging that
What
I
is
committed
your-
a crime
what-
and
what
you
should-
alleging that
No,
someone
He
else
has built
committed
a
a
brand
what
crime.
should
as
should
the
have-
action
what
man,
should
a leader who
have
gets
been
things done,
asked
even if it means
was,
stepping on
where
toes
are the documents?
and bulldozing his way
Because
through.
No,
bureaucracy.
there are no
Many people, even
documents.
in
Let me
Abuja,
Hang on, let me
roads
just make
being
this
built
point,
and
and I don't mean
projects
to
being
interrupt you because you
completed.
do have a right
On the other
to
hand,
reply.
Senator Kingibe
But when
is
somebody
raising a
says they
fundamental
have
question.
documents,
At what cost?
I can't say
Can you
start
build a
asking
city
them,
by
is the
tearing down
document
rule of
under your
law?
bed
That is
sheet?
what I'm saying.
Is
That
it
is
in
what
the
I'm
hands
saying.
of a lawyer?
That is
No,
what-
she says she has the
See, that is
documents.
what I'm saying.
So that's
And
as
I
far as
am
we're concerned,
challenging
that's what she
her
said.
now.
For you to
I am
challenge
challenging
Senator
her
Kingibe.
to bring
She has made the claim
documents
and she has said
showing
repeatedly
the
that she
names
has the documents to back them up.
children
The Nigerian
of the
public is
minister.
now waiting.
She should.
She needs to release
Because
those documents.
I
put them
listened
on
to
the floor
her
of the
talking
Senate,
about the
give them to
minister
the press,
not
and
obeying
let
the
the
rule
evidence
of law,
speak for
not
itself.
obeying this.
If she does,
Does she know
we will
law?
have serious questions
Well,
to
if
answer.
if
Listen,
you,
If
let
she
me
doesn't,
yeah, go ahead.
this
Let
will
me
look like
conclude.
another case
Because
of
if she
political
knows law,
grandstanding that
she
ultimately
won't come
goes
out the
nowhere.
other time
This
to
is a
say
defining moment
it
for
was
the
wrong
Tinubu's
to
administration's
revoke
anti-corruption
land
stance
based on
and for the
non-payment
governance of the
of ground
FCT.
rent.
We are all watching.
If she knows law,
So
because
that's the
section
gist for today.
28
A huge political
subsection
war
A
is
and B
unfolding right before
of the
our
Land
eyes.
Use
Now, I
Act
want
is
to hear
very
from
clear.
you.
It
Drop your thoughts in the
states
comments
reasons.
below. Who do you believe in
reasons.
this fight?
Land
Is
can
Wike
be
the
revoked.
no-nonsense reformer Abuja
And
needs, or
that
is he
section
acting like
clearly
an
stated that
emperor? Is Senator
every
Kingibe
condition
a brave
given to you
whistleblower
in your
fighting
house,
for her people, or
the moment
is it
you
just
contravene
politics as
any of
usual?
those conditions,
Let me know
it
what
is
you
a
think.
ground for
And if you
revocation
found this
of
breakdown useful,
your
please
Yeah, but we all know
hit
that
like
in the
button,
course
subscribe to
of
That's Trending Gist.
going
and don't
after
forget to ring
people
that
for
notification
monies,
bell so you'll be
especially
the first to know when I drop
quite
the next
small
video.
amounts,
Thanks for watching. I am
80,000
Catch you in the next
naira.
one.
This